All right, here we go. This one's going to be a 9x25 Dillon versus 10mm test. Today, we're going to be trying out some Underwood ammo. So for the Dillon, that one is the 124 grain XTP. Here's what that thing looks like. It does have your standard brass case and is rated 1700 feet per second. And for 10mm, that one is the 155 grain XTP. That one has your nickel-plated brass and is rated 1,500 feet per second. So we'll see how close we come today. So we are going to be testing out of our brand new Glock 40. That one does have that 6-inch barrel. We also have a 6-inch 9x25 Dillon conversion barrel for it. So we'll be going through our gel. Those are our 10% calibrated blocks. Do have our catch block behind that. So a total of 22 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front. And like always, we'll set up our chronograph so you can hopefully pick up those impact velocities. So let's set up and see how these rounds do head to head. First one up will be that 9x25 Dillon. All right, we're sending back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. All right, so it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1631. So once again, we are, quite a bit lower than advertised. Advertised was 17. Like I said, I am getting pretty much that same exact velocity out of that Glock 29 conversion barrel that we have. So kind of surprising there. All right, so there's that hit. Looks like I got a perfect shot on that block. You can see right down that cavity and a huge star pattern so far. You can actually see fragmentation already. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, pretty much same thing. So it looks like as soon as that thing came in, it definitely opened up quite a bit. You can see a ton of disruption going on. Looks like it did settle down pretty quickly. And then it did start to flatline maybe that last inch or so, but we did surprisingly make it into that second block, so that is always good. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here from the side. Doesn't look like we have a blowout. And like always, we'll get a little bit more accurate cross-section later. Cross-section measurements, but it looks like that one is right at 4 inches. So kind of surprising that, we got that much damage, even though, it wasn't moving the quickest. But you can see pretty much same thing. Hopefully you guys are able to see that from the side. It looks like it came in, pretty much exploded. You can see fragmentation all over the place, all in that track. And then you can see it did start to taper off pretty quickly. And then maybe that last inch or two, it did pretty much flatline, but we did make it into that second block. But some pretty big chunks of lead in there for sure. But let's see. From the side, our measurement is right at 3 1/4, so definitely a little bit less from the side than the top, but still pretty impressive, the damage that it's creating. And that one is facing downward, and it looks like we made it just about 1.5 inches, so that is 12.5 inches of total penetration, so not too bad. So let's set up for that 10mm and see how that one does. All right, we're sending back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. All right, so it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1478. So once again, that is lower than advertised. That is probably the closest that we've gotten today. With this Glock 42 advertised, like I said, it's pretty crazy that we're getting these lower numbers with this full-size 6-inch barrel. All right, so there's that hit. Looks like you got a perfect shot on that block. See right down in there and check out that star pattern. You can see it started to frag as soon as it hit, but you can see that just massive energy dump right away. Pretty cool looking pattern for sure. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, definitely not too bad. So it looks like as soon as that thing came in, it definitely opened up really nicely. There's a little bit of fragmentation that thing is dumping. And then it does look like it did collide a little bit, you know, towards the end of that, towards the end of that track, and then the end of the first block. But it did settle down pretty darn quickly. And then you can see we did make it into that second block. So always good to see. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here from the top. This one's going to be a little bit difficult to read. Looks like we are right around 4.5 inches. So actually a little bit more, you know, than I was kind of expecting for sure, especially with those little bit lower numbers. That is still a ton of energy, but you know, it's just, like I said, just weird that we're getting these little bit lower numbers for sure. But anyways, so let's check it out here from the side. Hopefully you guys are able to see that, but it looks like as soon as it came in, it definitely started to frag pretty darn good. You can see those little chunks of lead in there pretty much throughout that whole path, but definitely quite a bit of disruption, which is good to see. And then did flatline right there towards the end, and then we did make it into that second one. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here from the side. So at our widest spot, we are at about 3 1/4. So definitely a little bit less from the side than the top, but still not too bad, man. I definitely, you know, still wouldn't want to be in front of that thing. And at our leading edge, it is actually facing forward, which is good to see. We are right at 3 1/4, so 14 1/4 total inches of penetration. So definitely not too bad. So what we're gonna do is flip this block so you get a little bit clearer picture. All right, so the one on the right that's going away from us was that Dillon, and the one that's coming towards us is that 10mm. So here is that Dillon shot. Came in, pretty much exploded on impact, dumping a ton of energy for sure. A little bit of fragmentation going through. It did to the flat line pretty darn quickly though. And we did make it into that second block. It is that round there on the top. And then here is that 10mm shot. Pretty much same thing. Came in, opened up. You can see those frags already almost on contact with that gel. And then throughout the whole track. And then same thing with that one. It did flatline pretty darn quickly. And then there, that one is into that second block. So not too bad at all, guys. So let's pull these rounds and see what they look like. All right, check these things out. Looks like they both got some pretty massive expansion. So one on the right was that Dillon, and the one on the left was that 10mm. So here is that Dillon shot. You can see definitely got some really nice mushrooming. Opened up. Of course, it did make it to its breaking point. It peeled every one of those petals right past the base, folded them right over. There's still quite a bit of gel still stuffed in there. It is one nasty jagged round though, for sure. And would hopefully, you know, like to see a little bit more velocity. Like I said, that is the same velocity I'm getting out of the G29 conversion barrel. So kind of weird. But here's that 10mm, pretty much same thing. This one definitely made it to its breaking point. Did shear off quite a bit of those petals. A ton of them are folded right over the base, just like that last one. But pretty nasty stuff. This one was the closest one that, you know, came to advertise it right at that 1,500 feet per second mark. So definitely good to see. But would definitely like to see a little bit more for sure, but still did good. So let's check these out one time from the bottom. So the one on the right was that Dillon, one on the left was that 10mm, and last time from the top. So like I always do, guys, I will get our still shot, slow-mo, everything here at the end. But once again, that one was the Underwood XTP Dillon versus 10mm. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, so there's that Dillon cross section. You can see we got a massive amount of damage, some huge splitting. Some of this is from the 10mm because they did end up colliding, but for the most part it is that Dillon. As you can see, that thing really split that stuff pretty darn good. Same on this side. So I did measure these. They are peaking and averaging right at the same, right around that 3 3/4 inch mark. So definitely pretty impressive stuff. This one, of course, didn't reach advertise either, you know, 1630, but still not too bad. Like I said before, we're going to retest this stuff again and again just to see if it was just, you know, the sunlight, you know, just the way the weather was that day. I'm not sure, but anyways, let's cut this stuff open. All right, so here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side and this top is the left. So you can see pretty much as soon as that thing came in, right around that 1/4 inch mark, started to open up. And then you can see those paths where it's breaking apart already. Huge amount of damage. Nice wide path going through, and then fragmentation all over the place. I did already pull a couple frags out. Like I always do, I'll get our weight retention and stuff here at the end, but definitely pretty impressive. You can see some huge splits. This one did drag in quite a bit of that t-shirt. But definitely pretty impressed, especially for an XTP bullet. You know, I did test this stuff in the 29 recently. We're pretty much getting exactly the same velocity, which is kind of weird because, you know, that is only a 4-inch barrel, but I don't know, pretty interesting stuff. But anyway, same on the top. Came in, opened up. You can see that nice wide path just tearing this gel up. Quite a bit more fragmentation and just a ton of damage. Huge splits down in there. Definitely been digging this Dillon lately. You know, we did test this stuff probably about a year ago, but we finally got our own. That was Mr. Lee's that he let us borrow, but we finally got our own to do our own testing. Man, it's been fun lately for sure. Some pretty spicy stuff, but there we go. That one was at 124 grain XTP. All right, and here's that 10mm cross section. Pretty much same thing as that other one. Came in, opened up really nice, huge star pattern going on. You can see a little bit of fragmentation down in there. Same on this side, nice, decent star pattern. So I did remeasure these. They're exactly the same as that Dillon, right at that 3 3/4 inch mark. So definitely good to see, especially for that 10mm. Excuse me. This is probably the closest one that we got to advertised velocity, you know, in our testing today. So always good to see there. Of course, we'd like it to exceed, you know, rated velocity. This was a 6-inch barrel, but you know, still not too bad. So let's cut it open. All right, and here's how it's being cut. So this bottom is the right side and this top is the left. So pretty much on impact, this one started to open up right around that 1/4 inch mark. You can see where it started to, you know, get that nice mushrooming. You can see a couple of those petals where they're starting to shear off already. And nice wide path, ton of damage for sure. You can see a big chunk of lead down in there, but we definitely got some nice big splits in this stuff. Pretty impressive. Like I said, of course, we didn't reach advertised. We were very close, but definitely hoping for more. I have tested this before, you know, out of the 1911 full size 5-inch, and I believe we're getting rated plus. So just kind of weird that we're not getting that with this longer barrel. But here's that top. You can really see what's going on. Came in, opened up. You can see all those little chunks of lead going all over the place. Definitely fragging like crazy. Of course, this stuff isn't made for those velocities, but definitely performs well. Pretty crazy stuff for sure. Let's do one more quick angle so we can see what's going on. Hopefully. But yeah, you can see those nice wide splits down in there. Really tearing up this gel. 10mm, no joke, man. Same on this side. It's got some light over here. Same on this side. You can see all that frag down in there. And just a huge cut, man. Crazy stuff for sure. But anyways, there we go. That one was at 155 grain XTP. Thanks again for watching, guys.